Good morning on day 149 on the Pacific Crest Trail. Well, yesterday was a really tough day. The whole second half of the day spent on a single climb, and lots of young hikers passing me. I had plenty to say about it. Expletives, and I think my favorite one was a young man looked at me very seriously and said, "This is a big climb. This is drawing the purity out of my soul." But anyway, it was great to see Happy, and we have a big day planned, 19 plus miles. We're both trying to get to the post office by Saturday at 2, which means we have to catch a shuttle. There's 4 shuttles, and we have to catch the 12:30 shuttle. So hopefully we can get a good day in, and the climbs aren't as crazy as yesterday. So that means we are 2.5 days out, and it's a beautiful morning. Super soggy, wet tent this morning, lots of condensation. So we'll have to stop and dry that out. And my sleeping bag, since I was camped on kind of a incline, it was the only site left. And so I kept rolling into the side of the tent. So my quilt is actually pretty soggy as well. Anyway, beautiful morning. One other thing was so many blowdowns crawling under and over. I apparently lost my rain pants on the way up, which I wear daily, even when it's not raining in the morning, to keep me warm over my shorts. So I did post on Far Out. And one of the hikers that camped next to us said he saw them, but they were miles back, but they're very visible. So I did post a comment on Far Out, and also I was able to message Happy to see if she can message the guys that are behind us, because Obi-Wan, Chug Jug, and Dream Crusher are coming up behind. So we'll see. Hopefully I get those back. I will definitely be missing those. See you down trail. And look who's right ahead of me. Yay! It is so peaceful up here this morning. I just finished my oatmeal, and this is my view. Absolutely beautiful with the clouds laying low in the valley. Gorgeous morning. See you down trail. Just so you have an idea of the size of this blowdown. That was a tough one. Back on trail. So many blowdowns. This is absolutely crazy. The last one, I had to bushwhack so far off trail. I thought I was going to have to turn far out on just to find the trail. It's crazy. So we set off with a 19.9 mile day, which looked pretty doable because the elevation gain is only about 3,000 feet compared to yesterday's over 5,000 feet a gain in a little over 14 miles. But this has been really, really challenging. So hopefully we can get those miles in. See you down. These blowdowns are massive, just rocks and roots, and it's just crazy. You have to be like a contortionist. Some of them you have to climb over, with your heavy pack and let yourself down. Others you have to do army crawl to get under. Really test the upper body strength, of which I don't have a whole lot, but it's been rough. Patient Zero just passed me. He was the hiker that suggested I post my lost rain pants on far out. And he's like in his 20s and just shaking his head, saying how tough this is. But good workout this morning, thanks to Northern Washington. See you down trail. So happy the sun came out. So Happy and I had a nice lunch on the bridge while our tents dried, and my quilt as well. So it'll be nice to roll into camp with a dry tent. 8.1 miles to go, and it's like 225. But all the elevation of the day is at the end of the day, of course, but shouldn't be quite as brutal as yesterday, hopefully. See you down trail. So that note back there, signed by an impressed local, basically says, congratulations, there's nothing ahead of you worse than Milk Creek, which was that crazy climb yesterday. So that was pretty encouraging. And I'm glad to know that climbing Sea Down Trail. Still climbing, and it's after 6, but only one more mile to camp. Sea Down Trail. Okay, wrapping up day 149. Yesterday I didn't do a verbal recap. I had hiked with a gentleman the last couple miles of that huge climb yesterday, and that was Yeti. And Yeti gets up at 4 a.m., so we all camped pretty close to one another. There wasn't a lot of room for tents, but anyway, we had a good day today. It was a lot less difficult than yesterday. I hate to use the word easier, but even though yesterday was 14 miles, it was over 5,000 feet elevation gain, and today the gain was spread out and ended up doing a little over 20 miles. I was hoping to camp with Happy, but the mile marker that she had given me, when I checked my phone far out, hadn't updated, and by the time it did, I was past. So I'm about a half a mile beyond her, and I have some company across the other side of the trail, and hopefully she does too, but we'll catch up tomorrow for that last big push to get to Stehekin the day after with a Nero. Anyway, the morning was a lot of descent, which was nice, except for a ton of blowdowns. And then in the afternoon, we had the huge climb, but less blowdowns, although there were some. But all the hikers that saw that note were pretty encouraged, because the worst is behind us, according to the local that wrote that note. Anyway, it is late. I have a great campsite tonight. Glad for a dry tent, but this is the last 2 days my tent site was kind of on a little bit of a hill, and so kept rolling off of my sleeping pad, which doesn't make for a restful night's sleep. Anyway, I got a great site here, and stream in the background, so that's always nice. Gonna get some rest. Gonna have another big day tomorrow. We will see you down trail. Good night.